What were some times when you died inside? Being 45 minutes into a 1-hour drive to a meeting to realize you left the main reason for the meeting at home. Man, I felt this. I drove nearly 1 hour through the rush hour traffic just to realize at my destination that I now have to do it all again. Yay, let's waste 3 hours. I was on a school trip to a preschool and I had bad gas. I was chilling on the floor and this little girl jumped on my stomach and I ripped ass so ducking hard. I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. But he probably had something dead inside him. I crochet and my old boss at work asked me for a scarf. He requested lilac, which I thought was odd, but he was super insistent and even sent me a color chart pointing out the exact shade he wanted. I bought the yarn and made him a scarf, but then ran into him and mentioned the scarf again and he started cracking up saying he was joking. Definitely embarrassing, but I'm glad I didn't actually bring it with me and give him the scarf only to find out he was being an asshole. I wound up giving it to another coworker who was watching the whole thing play out and she was super appreciative. Walked halfway across campus before a random dude let me know that I had a string of toilet paper hanging out of the back of my pants. There was poop. Just kill me. I always wonder how this happens. Please describe your wiping methods in detail. I'll be waiting patiently. Edit, my inbox is now a literal shithole. That time I left school while chatting to friends and spotted my mom's car, got in said car and uttered the usual "thanks for picking me up, mom," only to realize that it was not in fact my mom's car, but a complete stranger and their family. Were they good sports about it at least? I kinda sat there for a minute staring while my brain came to the decision that yes, this is indeed the wrong car, perhaps I should get out. The dad just said wrong car and I left and pretended that nobody saw my horrifying mistake. My girlfriend decided she liked my best friend more, broke up with me, tried to get with him but he friend-zoned her right off the bat. It was sad for a long time but now I think it's hilarious. Her best friend is a bro. Hell yeah he is. It was pretty funny. She was all texting him about wanting to get with him and he texted back and friend-zoned her. I was there. He's a keeper. I was supposed to fill in for the coach of my son's soccer team this weekend, but plans changed. This morning I told my son I wouldn't be coaching his team on Saturday. He said, "Good." Dead inside. Maybe he is just shy. Anything but. Has 13 and parents are embarrassing. Yeah, I can see how it would really hurt to hear that, but don't beat yourself up over it. Almost every kid that age is embarrassed about the existence of their parents, but pretty much everyone grows it out of it and it doesn't really say anything negative about your relationship with him, it's just young teens being young teens. I had a customer who was holding and examining an awkward, fragile, and expensive item with one hand. I asked her to please hold it with two. She turned to look at me. She only had one arm. You know, out of all the great answers in this thread, this is the one that actually made me laugh out loud. I can almost picture your face as she turns around. Turn beat red mumble out on apology go take a bathroom break till she leaves. Was on a TV quiz show and totally ducked up. Died inside when it was aired. 6th grade all-day field trip to SeaWorld Orlando. Surprise period through my white shorts. All the moms who wanted to help only had tampons. I was 11 and had no idea how to use them. There ensued an embarrassing crash course. I was devastated until random dad saved the day by giving me his windbreaker to tie around my waist and told me to, "Go have fun, thanks random field trip dad, you saved the day." What a great story of human kindness. Not all heroes wear capes. Windbreakers are twice as useful. Having to repeat a clever off-the-cuff joke because the person was focusing on their phone. When I was about 13, my dad took me aside one night and apologized for putting so much effort into supporting my twin brother and so little into supporting me. I always assumed he was just smarter, physically more gifted. Turns out he and my mother had actively and knowingly neglected me in order to encourage my brother's achievements. Happened all through my schooling. They paid thousands for his sporting trips, and when I had the same opportunities they just didn't have the money. Still kills me inside now. Edit, wow, thanks for all the support Reddit. I am doing well now and it really only made me a more resilient person. Was a big oof when it happened, but it made me who I am. Surprising how many twins are in the exact same situation. Edit 2, for those asking, there was no real reason given in the explanation from dad and nothing really changed after. At 13 it was the norm, and even now it's pretty standard. I still love my dad and my brother. Dad gave me more than most have, and he did it as a single parent, so I don't hold it against him. I'm a guy with a twin sister. My dad made it known that they expected me to do well on my own, while they unabashedly supported my sister. Still killed me on our 16th birthday when she got a car in the driveway wrapped in a big bow and I got the weed whacker sitting next to it. That sucks. I'm sorry your parents were so shitty. Sadly, I can relate to parents being biased towards a sibling. Sigh. When you're having a conversation with your friends and you keep getting talked over like you never said anything, and by the time someone does acknowledge you, the subject has changed, so they all give you a weird look for being so behind, and it keeps happening, and you realize that these people aren't really your friends, you're just kind of there. When I realized I lost my passion for writing and playing music and quit my bands. They both had success after I left. That was about 10 years ago. Trying to get my groove back now. Edit, no, I don't think I'm gonna tell you about them. But if you follow post-rock experimental music, you may have heard of them. Successful as in the music is getting heard by a lot of people and they're touring. But they still have jobs when they're home. What area are you in, and more importantly, how long would I need you in my band before kicking you out in order to become successful? Folks, how about a round of applause for our new fill-in guitarist? Good luck, Chuck. Interviewing a potential student who is interested in my school. He has a huge green circle around his eye. Wow, quite a black eye. What did you do? I was born like this. Oh wow, I did this once at my job when I was in high school. I worked with this guy for 3 years, and one day he had this huge cut all the way up his arm. I asked him what happened, and he looked down and awkwardly told me he had psoriasis and was having a flare-up. All I could say was no way, so does Kim Kardashian. You could be famous made almost 0 sense, and I felt so bad. He was cool about it though. I'm sure that kid wasn't too upset, he knows what's up. As someone who has psoriasis and flares, concern and kindness are always appreciated over you gross, or is it contagious? While backing away. I went to an interview once where one of the two people interviewing me asked if I knew French. I said I knew core French, so they decided to conduct the interview completely in French. I can understand when someone speaks French to me. I can read and write fluently in French, but I can't for the life of me speak French. It was so bad that one of the interviewers got up and left halfway through and didn't come back. Needless to say, I didn't get the job. Edit, I was drenched in sweat by the end of it. Never forget it. Edit, I'm not trying to criticize or hate on French people, it was just a sweaty situation I slipped myself into that forever changed me. I have become one with cringe. On my CV I always write that I can read and write in French instead of saying that I speak it, because this sounds terrifying. I haven't spoken French in a good while, but I watch films and read it, etc. Once created a painting for a friend, hung it up on the door to my apartment as a surprise. It was easily bypassed. He asked, "What's with people around here? You let people put shitty vacation ads on your door?" Never again. For those asking, I live in West Virginia. It was a painting of one of our favorite spots we would seek when hiking. This happened in Morgantown and it's called Blue Hole, not really sure of the actual name of the river. He showed me the place. Lots of people go swimming there, but he knew a secret spot. It was a view from the exit of the trees of our favorite area. Honestly, a lot of people had things like that in Morgantown and around the state, which is why I think he easily overlooked it. I did not tell him at that time. I was so embarrassed, I was glad he didn't figure it out. Eventually I did tell him when we were drunk, yay liquid courage, and I could see everything click in his head. He was sorry, but we've gotten past it. Edit for spelling and context. Extremely forced grin. Oh my god, would you actually paint a tat?